Hey everyone, welcome back to Pop Incursions. I'm Nico and today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the Werewolf by Night Funko Pop collection.
Chaos magic.
And yet I was the bad guy.
We are not killing anyone.
He doesn't mean that.
Telekinesis if you can't even aim.
Do you want to do it?
Hey, brother.
Met with a monster.
It's about damn time. It came out last year and it's only been released in the last few weeks, at the last few weeks of August, start of September. Now I think it's becoming kind of mainstream in the stores where you can normally find Funko, but I had to order this from Pop Culture, which is an amazing Australian website where you can get all things comic related because they have a huge collection. And I was extremely impressed with the service, the delivery, and I will be making a separate video reviewing my pop culture order. But today we're just focusing on Ted, Jack, the Werewolf, and Elsa Bloodstone. I'm going to start with Elsa Bloodstone. So this is the Elsa Bloodstone Werewolf by Night Funko Pop. It's pop number 1271. And just like the original theme and mood for Werewolf by Night, the Funko Pops are following suit, where you can see it's pretty much black and white with the exception of anything red, which is of course a nod at the Bloodstone itself, which we saw in Werewolf by Night. And if you haven't watched it, you should really check it out. It's a great special presentation and it's really looking into the horror and dark supernatural corner of the MCU that we're seeing more and more of, especially with Moon Knight, Agatha Darkhold Diaries, Blade, Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch, and I'm sure at some stage it will all culminate hopefully in a Midnight Suns project. And of course on the back we can see the entire collection: Elsa Bloodstone, Jack Russell, the Werewolf and Ted, in brackets super, because Ted comes as a supersized pop similar to Rintrah from Multiverse of Madness and T'Challa on the Throne from the Black Panther Legacy collection. Now let's open it up. This is a great trick that I saw from watching Funko Pop videos on YouTube, where you use the knife instead of trying to use your fingers, because of course we all know how easy the boxes can crease, and the knife will do it in a nice slick way without any creases. So here we have Elsa Bloodstone out of the box. Now Elsa does not come with a stand, which I'm actually okay with. I do think they should put a stand, particularly if you're going to be putting them on display, but I'm also happy that she doesn't have to rely on a stand, because a lot of Funko Pops recently are really needing the stand, and a lot of them are coming with the stand that like goes into their back, which I'm not a fan of. And not only was it a bit of an introduction to Ted and to the werewolf, but it was also very much so a kind of introduction, I wouldn't say origin, but close to an origin for Elsa Bloodstone, because we got a very good sense of her family dynamic, family's history with Ulysses Bloodstone, her father, and the wicked stepmother, which she played a great role of, I have to say. Really believable, and very much so the prodigal daughter. And there we have Elsa Bloodstone. I do like this pop, and you can still see the little bit, a very small bit of dyed hair that she also had in the special presentation. Now let's move on to Jack Russell. This was also a sort of origin or intro to Jack Russell, but we really didn't grasp it until the very end, and then we got a really clear sense of what's going on here. And I don't want to say too much, obviously, in case you haven't watched it, which you really should, especially for Halloween. And this Jack Russell Funko Pop is number 1272. Here's the back, again displaying the entire collection. And now let's open him up. And here is Jack Russell, and of course we can see the ceremonial face paint that he wears to honor his ancestors, which he obviously explains to us in Werewolf by Night. And of course, this isn't the first time we're seeing this. We see a lot of it in the Black Panther franchise, especially with Shuri and the Dora Milaje. They wear or ceremonial face paint. I also love the attention to detail in terms of his little suit, the garment, the jewelry or the pendant. And although I did say that the special presentation does serve as a somewhat intro for Elsa Bloodstone, it very much so feels like Jack's story though, because a lot of the presentation is from his point of view, and we're learning everything from his perspective. And I think that was a really, really smart way to introduce him, but also to introduce us into this more darker world of the supernatural. Now we have the werewolf. This is pop number 1273, and I think it's safe to say for all of us, we are most excited for the Werewolf and Ted, especially as a Funko Pop, because it's something very, very different from the standard issue of Funko Pops. The stand for the werewolf, they certainly do not make the hole in his foot large enough, and I know that's obviously to try and keep the stand tight, but this is very difficult. But he does come with a stand, which I'm sure a lot of us are going to be happy about because it's obviously safer, especially for display. And this is a very interesting Funko Pop, and I'm so happy that I chose to got this series. And we can still see a little bit of Jack in the werewolf, obviously most notably with the facial markings or the ceremonial face paint. That's very smart because it reminds us of that humanity. It reminds us of who it is on the inside. It reminds us that this, what looks to be or is often described as a beast, is still a person. And that's one of the biggest kind of objectives I feel like with Werewolf by Night, is showing the viewer and realizing that these creatures are misunderstood, but they have feelings as well. They have a life of their own, etc. And I'm very impressed, I have to say, with the design, the construction, and the attention to detail, particularly for this one with the werewolf. The way that they've managed to kind of portray the hair on his arms, on his legs, on his head, on his face. It's done in a very, very good way, I feel like. And it complements him rather than making, you know, the beast look scarier. It actually complements it, in my opinion. And here we have, I feel like, the one that everybody is waiting for, everyone wants. This is pop number 1274 of Ted, aka the Man Thing. But I love that they gave him such an innocent, amicable name, because it just further kind of emphasizes the element of compassion, of understanding, and continues with that theme of empathy for these other beings. And of course, to our knowledge, these are mythical beings, but you can take this sort of dynamic or construct and apply it to humans, or how humans treat animals. I do believe that part of, you know, what they were trying to do with Werewolf by Night was do exactly that, was to try and make us realize that whether it's a human that's different from us or another animal that is different from us, it still has feelings, treated with empathy and compassion and understanding. Oh my God. This is one hell of a pop. That is all I can say. I am so impressed, and they really got it with the texture, the aesthetic, the construction and design. I almost don't blame them for taking over a year to release them, because wow. And the head is obviously not the traditional bobblehead cut because of how big he is. And you can see obviously as well the kind of tufts of hair, I suppose, and the different textures. And as I turn it, you will start to notice something on the back. This is the actual bloodstone embedded and matted into its fur, and I assume under the skin. Yes, it's obviously to make it, you know, cool and unique, but on a deeper level, it's still, just even as a pop, is still sending home that message, in my opinion, of Werewolf by Night in terms of compassion and empathy and understanding. I have to say, I am actually blown away with this one and the werewolf one in particular, but this pop set is really good. I am very impressed, but the Werewolf and Ted here in particular, I am extremely impressed. So everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and if you haven't got them already, I hope this video has helped you decide whether you wanted them or not. And please do check out my other Funko Pop videos and my other Marvel videos. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the like button if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button for more. Let me know in the comments below, are you as blown away with this collection as I am, and do you want to see the Werewolf and or Ted again, and if you do, in what project or what part of the MCU do you want to see them with? Is it with the Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange? Is it in Wakanda? Is it with Moon Knight in Captain America? Let me know, because I think it'd actually be quite interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nico at Pop Incursions. See you next time.